I am John Dylan Atkins. You can call me John, Dylan, JD, whatever. I'm cool. Well, I've actually been acting since the last semester of community college. I just randomly had some people that were doing a school show at Columbia State Community College in Columbia, Tennessee. And they were like, "Oh, dude, like, we have a show tonight. Somebody didn't, like, they can't do it. Come do it for us." And I was like, all right, because everybody had been telling me I should be performing my whole life because I am that way. I'm kind of extra and I make people laugh. And then the rest was from there. Like, people just wanted me to do their stuff. So I kept doing it. My favorite actor is Albert Finney. He is really naturalistic. I really like the naturalistic approach. I change acting styles depending on roles, but I like to tend to go into the naturalistic style. And the reason that he's my favorite is because whenever I was a kid, I grew up watching the Scrooge musical that he's in, and like, it wasn't until I was like a teenager that I realized that he was like playing the old guy and he was playing the young version, and I was like, wow, because like the physicality of the performance is just insane to me. Like, he nails like being an old guy, and that really kind of drove at that age like some more of the passion of being like interested in performing, but wasn't until all the other stuff came together that it actually happened for me. Man, that's a loaded question. I don't think my favorite movies are necessarily like the best movies. Basketball is a favorite movie of mine just because it makes me laugh. Like, my favorite movies are more movies, it's more nostalgia driven. Like, who I watched the movie with the first time, like my best friends. Like, I watched that movie with them, or like The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. Like, I went and watched that with my mom on my birthday once. It's or Shaun of the Dead, watched it with my family. Like, it's like those kind of things. I like most movies, because being an artist, you can really, what goes into it. But I think it's stuff like that that like draws me to a movie, is like more who I experienced it with than the movie itself that would make it be my favorite. Jared Hamilton. He's a very good person. He's driven by his morals. I know a lot of people are, but he's very morally driven. The way that I've played him is that he's also he's driven by his trauma, but he wants to like turn his trauma into good, from like the backstory that I came up with. And like, I think that's the main focus. Like, I had sent an email in, like, I don't want to give spoilers away because like this is a universe, but I asked Jerron early on before we did any shooting, like, a very specific question about my character, and that would determine how I played the character. And all I can say is that like he really means well, and that's like the core, is like he wants to do good. He is kind of a smart ass. He is sassy, he's funny, he deflects with humor, very similar to me in that way, but I think that he means well with everything that he's doing, and that's the most important characteristic that it might not jump off in the performance, but it's layered in there that he really does mean well. But I mean, he's just, a guy trying to like survive with his friends at work. I normally take a little bit of myself in a role and I'll put it in there, but to an uncomfortable extent for me, I brought more of myself to this role than I normally do. It's more of a heightened version of myself. I think a lot of people that know me would actually be, or they're not going to think it's very transformative performance. They're going to see a lot of me, and that was kind of scary because you're bringing some of your own like nuance and vulnerabilities out that are within yourself instead of like this backstory that you've created for a character. So using some of that like trauma informed good, whether, I mean, again, it doesn't always come across as like trying to do good sometimes, but you're still affecting the world based on trying to do good because of what you've experienced. And I felt like using a lot of that from myself would make this character like just feel real. I just wanted him to feel very authentic. And the ways that were different is, I would say, not in a bad way, but he has a much more rigid moral code than I do. I'm a little more relative with my moral code. I see the world with a little bit more nuance than I think Ham does. But that was also part of, like, I think I'm playing an older version of me with Ham than instead of like the version I am today. Which is also part of why it was kind of scary to like open up into that. But I think that's the biggest difference, is he's very rigid in his morals and what he thinks justice is and how he wants justice to be served. The day before I was set to rap, I had a grade 2 calf and Achilles strain, and I had to get through the last scene barely being able to walk and then show up the next day to finish it off. It was more of a struggle really afterwards, because all I can say is I was taken care of and I was able to get through. I actually had minimal pain while I was doing it, but afterwards it created more of a struggle, which is kind of a weird way. Like I was telling one of my castmates today, I'm kind of getting to let go of the character a little bit today because I've been carrying him with me. This is like my first day, or the second day off of crutches. So that's been a very eye-opening struggle, but like it was also really, it was good in a way, because I saw something at first. I mean, Jerron, I talked about this earlier. He saw the fear in my eyes. He knew that I was injured. Like I didn't know how I was going to go on, but I kept telling him, no, I'm going to do this. No, you just figure out the shot. I'll get it. I don't know how. I'll get it done. And just being able to find a way to do it and not hurt myself even more. It was hard, but it showed me that, man, when everything looks like it could fall apart, there's sometimes that 1%. It's that 1% that you don't think you have that you can pull up and you can get it done. But again, you should never do that if you're going to like hurt yourself or something. I'm not advocating that, because I was able to find ways to do it without furthering injuring myself. But it was really cool to be able to have that adversity and then be able to overcome it, and like see Jerron overcome it in time, because like it was a busy day. It was a 12-hour day, and we had to get stuff shot, and man, it was just like butter. He just was like, all right, well, this is what we're gonna do now. It was crazy whirlwind of a day, but we got through it. Everybody that I got to work with was outstanding. The people I got to work with most was Everett, Nicole, and Jeff. I got to see them do a little bit more than I got to see everybody else, so I know, and then I'm in more scenes with them, so I know a little more of the nuance with the story with those characters, so I'm really excited to see all of them, and like how everyone reacts to their performances, because like I think they're golden, especially Nicole, because she was playing like against type. She was telling me she normally doesn't get to play those kind of characters, and like she was killing what she was doing. I can't wait for people to see it. You never know what you're getting into with indie film, but the production was smooth. If you're an actor out there, I would audition for Jerron's productions. Nah, you can say no. I'm just speaking how I truly feel, because I mean, I'll put him on positive blast right now. Whenever I got hurt, he told me not to show up the next day, and I would still get paid for my shot. Like, that's a good person. That's people worrying about people instead of the art that they're making, which is, so he can do this at me all he wants, but no, I recommend working with him because you're here to make art. You're working off of good scripts. you've got somebody who's coming in with a plan. A lot of times you don't have that in indie film too. And like I said, when things went wrong, it wasn't, and I think it's, police training probably comes in to handle with how he handles the situation, because there was no, like, a lot of times on a set when something goes wrong, it's 30 minutes trying to figure it out. It was 30 seconds. We pivoted and we got it done. Like, I like that kind of set. And everybody's so kind. There wasn't a bad attitude on set the whole time. Like, it's rare. So, I had a great time. Can't wait for the next one if my character survives. It tackles a lot of complex themes that are real. They happen every day. It shows multiple angles to these issues. It shows that there's a lot more nuance in how to fix these issues than just the talking points that you ever hear. It just shows that, like, a lot of people, no matter who they are, no matter where they are, to me, are just people that are trying to survive. And they're not necessarily bad people all the time. Like, some people, I mean, inherently, I guess, but, like, for the most part, even people you perceive as bad, they're just trying to get by. They're just trying to take care of the people that they care about. And that's what I found really powerful about the script whenever I read it. And that's why I was like, oh, absolutely, if I can do this, I want to do it. Nah, I just appreciate the opportunity to get to do this film because, like I said, it was a solid script. Ended up being such a solid group of people, like people I can call friend now. That's always cool to add to the Rolodex of people that you like. Because I mean, you know, you can add to the Rolodex, but you don't always get to like them, and it's been a good experience to get to like the people that you work with. Man, it's just been such a positive experience outside of the injury that that's really all I can think about is, like, how positive everyone was. Like, I guess that is what I want people to know is, like, watch this because, like, these are genuinely good people.